Begin standing at the top of your mat or space, rooting down the feet into the ground, finding an equal weight between both feet. And as you press down through the feet, lifting up through the midline of the body, lengthening through crown of head, relaxing the shoulders a bit down and back, maybe allowing the palms to relax at the sides. Palms can face up or out for a more receptive, energetic feeling, or you can place them with the palms facing your thigh or inward to feel a bit more grounded or centered. Hips over the heels, shoulders over the hips. Observe the breath, its natural flow, entering and exiting through the nose. Noticing the belly and chest rise and fall as they fill and release with air. Inhale, slowly start to bring the arms up to the sides and overhead, stretching, lengthening. And as you exhale, slowly lowering the hands back to the sides. Noticing the movement in shoulders. Inhale again, slowly raising arms overhead. Exhaling slowly, allowing the shoulder blades to come back down to the spine, arms release to the sides. Inhale, bring the palms to heart center, perhaps allowing the fingers to separate a bit, noting any energy. Maybe allowing the head to bow to the hands as you think of an intention for your practice. On your inhale, root through the heels, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, side bend to the right, releasing right arm to the side as left arm reaches over. Keeping rooted firmly through both feet. Inhale, raise both arms. On the exhale, side bend to the left. Left hand releases to the side, right arm overhead towards the left side. Side stretch on right side of body. Inhale, both arms overhead. Bring the palms together behind the nape of the neck, sort of a reverse prayer position. Stretch for the shoulders, gentle heart opening, and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, slowly bring both arms in front of you, wrapping the right arm under the left arm in eagle arms. Very slowly, just lifting the elbows up a half inch or down a half inch. And then on your exhale, pulling the elbows in towards the body, opening the space behind the back, bending over, sort of a chair pose with elbow connected inward. Inhale, back up to the eagle arms, standing, and exhale, release. Create a bind on the other side, bringing left arm under right arm. Elbows come in line with the shoulders and just a half inch up and down. Just warming them briefly before your next exhale, where you'll pull the elbows slowly in towards the core and towards your center as you lean forward, bending the knees towards a chair pose with a sort of eagle crouch, opening space behind the back. Inhale, slowly rise back up, release the bind, the hands, and relax hands at your sides. Inhale, gaze up, root through the feet. Exhale, bend the hips to fold forward. Inhale, halfway flatten the back, bring palms to shins or the mat, gaze ahead. Exhale, plant the palms. Step your left foot back to a low lunge, so right knee is over the ankle between the arms. You might pulse back and forth to warm the front of left hip. Before you set left knee down, untuck the left toes, and come up to a low crescent. So the front right knee is still over the ankle, hips coming forward, arms can remain at the legs or you can lift them overhead. So you're engaging through the legs, perhaps at the inner thighs or groin. Try to relax the glutes somewhat here. On the exhale, straighten the front right leg towards the half splits, and then moving back and forth between that lunge, knee over the ankle, exhaling, straightening the leg, folding over the body. Inhale to bend into the right knee, exhale, straightening the leg, continuing to warm the hip, and eventually straightening the back left leg, bending the right knee, coming up into a high crescent lunge. Front right knee over the ankle, left heel's peeled off the ground, ball of heel over the toes. You can raise the arms overhead. For a greater challenge, you can lift the gaze to the arms or hands. And exhale to a side bend. Right hand comes to the side of the body. Left arm reaches over to the right side. Keep the hips facing forward here, feet firmly rooted. On your next inhale, start to bring hands to heart center and straighten both legs as arms reach all the way overhead. As you exhale, hands touch the mat or the front straight leg or shin. See if you can allow the hands to reach all the way down, bending the front knee into a low lunge, and exhale as you straighten both legs back to the pyramid shape. Bending into the front knee, bringing knee over ankle to a low lunge, and exhaling back to the pyramid pose. Making sure both hips and toes or feet are facing forward. Finding a stretch in both legs, perhaps bringing the right hip back a bit, squaring the hips towards the front of your mat or space. And if hands are not towards the ground, bend into the front knee, bring the hands to the ground, push and lift up to a standing L shape. Left leg lifts, left foot flexed towards the ground. Keep a bend to the front right knee or the standing leg's knee. Press through the back, left heel away from the head. Keep the hands at heart center in airplane. Slowly release the hands to the ground and back foot to the ground. And press back to downward facing dog. Hips come away from the hands. You can keep a small bend in the knees if you need. Pressing firmly, evenly through both palms. Slowly walking up, feet towards hands, towards a forward fold. Keeping the knees bent here in your fold. Go ahead and interlace the fingers behind your back. Lift them overhead. Bringing another stretch to the shoulders, opening to the shoulders, chest. Release the hands, inhale halfway, exhale as you fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, root through the heels, lift arms overhead. Exhale, pause, lowering the thumbs to the third eye, space between the brow. And then releasing hands to heart center. On your inhale, root through the heels, lift through the arms and gaze up. Exhale, bend from the hips to fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back, gaze ahead. Exhale, keep the left knee bent, lower the right foot back to a lunge position. You can take a few pulses forward. So sort of a runner's lunge with the hand outside of the front left knee, bent over the ankle. You can eventually lower the right knee down to the mat, untuck the right toes. You can keep hands to the front thigh, or you can lift the arms overhead, engaging the quads, inner thighs, groin, keeping the glutes somewhat relaxed. Feeling a stretch in the front right hip flexor. On your exhale, releasing the hands to the ground to curl the back right toes under and straighten both legs towards that pyramid pose. Here you'll bend into the front knee, that lunge, coming back and forth between the lunge, and on your exhale, straightening the legs to pyramid pose. Bending into the front knee and exhaling back into your pyramid pose. And then next time you exhale to pyramid pose, firm both feet into the ground, both feet facing forward, hips facing forward, perhaps bringing the left hip, pulling it back in space. Square the hips towards the front, and then go ahead and bend into the front left knee, Lift the back right heel over the ball of the foot and come to high crescent lunge. For additional challenge, you can gaze up towards the hands. Shoulders are somewhat softened or relaxed from the ears. And on your exhale, side bend to the left. Keep the hips facing forward as you reach the right arm over to the left side of body. As you inhale and come back up through center, keep a firm, concentrated core. Slowly release both hands to the front of the mat, to the ground, and keeping the left knee bent, kick the back right leg up and off into the air and creating an L shape. So a bend in the left knee, slight bend. The right foot is raised, foot flexed to the ground, coming to airplane pose. You can bring hands between heart center, or you can extend the arms out if you like. Really push head to heel, head to toes. As you exhale, slowly release the right leg back into your lunge and press back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hips away from the hands, a long spine, relaxed neck and jaw. On your next inhale, walk back up to forward fold, Uttanasana, relaxing head towards the shins. From here, bend the knees to chair pose legs, interlace the fingers behind the back, bring a stretch to the chest, and keep the chair pose legs lifting arms overhead, keeping the tailbone pointed down, knees facing forward. Feeling some warmth building in the legs, quads, and keep arms together or arms apart. As you exhale, rotate or twist to the right. You can keep hands in prayer or open the arms. Just try to keep both hips facing forward. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, twist, keeping arms together or open arms to the left. Hips stay facing forward. Knees still bent. Inhale, come back to center. Lengthen the arms back behind the neck. And reverse prayer. Hands behind the nape of the neck. Small chest opening. Feet stay grounded. Exhale, hands come to the third eye, space between the brow, and release to heart center. On your next inhale, root through the heels, gaze up overhead, lifting arms. Exhale, bend to fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, long spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step the left foot back, right knee over ankle. Inhale, arms up, high crescent lunge. On the exhale, come into a revolved crescent lunge, bringing the left elbow outside the right knee. Feel free to keep the back leg lifted or to lower the back knee, deepening the twist. Hands can stay in prayer or can open up, or you can take a half bind with your right arm behind the back. Any twist that best supports your body. From your revolved lunge, if your knees to the ground, make your way back up, lifting the knee. Start to press the weight forward into the front foot. If you can, step softly back into a revolved chair twist, prayer twist. Exhale, straighten the legs and fold forward. In your forward fold, feel free to widen the legs, bend the knees, bring the arms down, sway side to side, just to release any tension, any extra energy. Inhale halfway, exhale to fold. Inhale, slowly rise to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, thumbs to the third eye and to heart center. Releasing the arms at the sides, setting the shoulders down and back. Inhale, lift the arms overhead, gaze up. Exhale, bend to fold forward, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, flatten the back on the inhale. Exhale, step the right foot back. Heel is lifted into a high lunge. Keep the hips facing forward, left knee over the ankle. Arms can lift. Pulling in your Mula Bandha or root lock, your Uddiyana Bandha or the belly lock, drawing the belly in and up, keeping a firm core, and then exhale, twist to your left, bringing right elbow outside of your left knee. Staying here or lowering down to the right knee. Keeping hands in prayer, opening the arms or bringing the left arm behind the back for a half bind. Again, suiting your needs today in this practice. If your back foot is raised, lift it up, take a few pulses forward, step softly into a chair twist with a prayer twist. And exhale forward, fold, straighten the legs, or keep a little bend if you need. Inhale halfway, flattening the back. Exhale as you fold, soften the head and neck. Inhale, root to rise, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. From here, take a step back, coming to tree pose. Go ahead and root the right leg, keeping a small bend to the right knee. Make some circles with the left hip forward and backward to warm that side. When you're ready, bring the left foot to the right leg, at the ankle, at the shin, or at the thigh, avoiding the kneecap. Also have the option to bring the left foot across the body in front of the right hip for another variation. So any place you choose, make sure the standing right leg, knee remains bent a bit. Draw everything into the midline and lift up tall through the crown of the head. You can choose any placement of the hands, keeping your balance. Releasing slowly from your pose, coming into a figure 4. So bringing the left ankle across or over the right knee, keeping a flexed left foot, bending into the opening of the outer right hip. Inhale, come back up to standing and release the hands. Take a breath in and out. Shift the weight into the left foot, bending the left knee. Start to warm the right hip, making circles. And when you're ready, bringing the foot to the ankle, shin, or thigh. Or, of course, if you have the option, bringing the right foot across the body, across the left hip. If that aggravates the knee, come into another tree variation. Again, choosing any placing of the hands at heart center, at the hips, or skyward. Pressing into the foot, lifting through the top of head, creating a lightness. And slowly bending that left knee, coming into a figure 4. Right foot comes across the left knee, opening outer left hip. Focus on your balance, your breath, and exhale, softly release to standing. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and widen the stance here, bringing both feet wider than hips distance apart. Feet are parallel to each other. And go ahead and take a fold forward, wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Uttanasana. You can bring your body as far down as you like. You can bend all the way, you can keep a lift, you can sort of walk side to side if you want, stretching each inner thigh, or you can just find stillness in one place, remaining in the forward fold. If it's not too much, allowing the head to come below the heart. Eventually lifting up to halfway, placing the left hand in the center of the mat, opening right arm skyward for a twist. And exhale to release the right hand. Right hand places in the center of your legs. Inhale, open left arm skyward for a twist. And exhale, release left hand back to the mat. From here, bend into the left knee, bringing a straight right leg, coming to Skandasana, sort of side body lunge. So left knee is bent, left heel may or may not be on the ground, right leg is straight, a deep stretch to the inner thigh here. You can lift the arms if you want for balance or not. Go ahead and bend then into the opposite right knee when you're ready, straightening the left leg. You can bring your hands off the mat for a balance or keep them on the mat for a balance, or if it's too much on the knee, the hands can come to the mat and you can lift the bottom up a bit. Once you've completed a lunge on each side, step back up to the top of the mat, forward fold, Uttanasana. Any forward fold that suits, just releasing some tension from the back, head and neck. From there, bend the knees into chair pose, lifting arms overhead. Lift the right leg if you can, so coming into a one-legged chair. Go ahead and, if the right leg is lifted, circle the right foot or ankle a couple times forward and backward, and then set that right leg down. Lift the left leg, both knees still bent, left leg lifted if you can, a few circles to the left ankle and foot, and setting the leg back down, back to chair pose. Lift the right leg one more time, keeping a small bend to the left knee, standing leg. Bring the right foot behind you, preparing for dancer pose. So keeping the right knee bent, the right arm to connect to the outside of the right foot as you kick back and press up into the hand. Releasing softly when you're ready back into chair pose. Shift the weight into the left knee, right knee, standing leg. Keep a bend of that right knee as you bring the foot to the left hand behind the body, kicking the foot up and away into the hand, creating a force in opposite directions. Front of the body is open, and exhale, release back to standing. Inhale, lift the arms overhead, gaze up. Exhale, bend the hips to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten back. Exhale, plant the palms, step the left knee back, lowering left knee to the mat. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, arms back to center, low lunge. Exhale, release hands this time to the inside of the right foot, coming to a runner's lunge. You can walk the right foot to the top right corner of your mat or space. You can allow the foot to face forward, or you can allow the right foot to roll into the knife edge of the foot, opening the hip. You can also turn back and grab the back left knee, taking a twist or a quad stretch, or staying still. From wherever you are, bring the hands to the mat, bend into the right knee, lift the left foot all the way off the mat, big transition to a standing L. Bring the hands to an interlace behind the back to a toppling tree. So right knee is bent, right standing leg connected to the ground, left foot lifted, flexed, heel flexed away from the hands. You can release the hands to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower the right knee down to the mat. Inhale, up, low lunge, left knee over ankle. Exhale to the left, side bend. Inhale, arms to the center. Exhale, release hands to the ground, the inside of the left foot. Taking a runner's lunge on the opposite side. Left foot is walked out. You can roll to the knife edge of the left foot, opening the hip. You can bend the right knee, reaching with the left hand for a twist, take a quad stretch, or you can just stay still. From wherever you are, bring the hands to the mat, bring the weight in towards the front left foot, pop up, big transition, stepping into the left leg, keeping the knee bent, lifting the right leg up into a standing L, flexing the right heel, foot, and bringing an interlace to the fingers behind the back, lifting the leg, toppling tree while lowering the upper body, or just taking any one-legged balance you can. Releasing the hands to forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Go ahead and drop down to both knees and come into a seated position, sitting on the knees if you can. If that's not too uncomfortable, go ahead and take a stretch for the front of the feet or ankles, walking the hands behind the body and leaning back, lifting the knees. And then exhale back forward, bringing the toes underneath the bottom and sitting down onto the feet to open the backs of the feet. Inhale, come forward, release the tops of feet to the ground or mat. Again, walk the hands back, lift the knees up off the mat if possible, bringing a stretch to the feet, ankles. Again, only if that's comfortable. And then coming back forward towards tabletop position, curling the toes under, pressing the bottom back towards the heels, sitting on the feet to add some pressure, opening the bottoms of feet. And as you inhale, come back up, bring a few circles to the feet, forward, backward, and then make your way to a seated position. Bringing the soles of the feet together into Uttanasana, seated round angle pose. So soles of the feet together, pulling the heels into the groin, taking a bend forward if that's comfortable. You also use your elbows to press into the shins or thighs for a greater stretch. From here, go ahead and lift your left leg up and start to roll the left foot forward and backward, kind of rocking the left whole leg forward and backward like a baby, and then gently set the left foot on top of the right knee in kind of seated to figure four or double pigeon or fire log pose. So there might be a lot of space under the left knee or between the left knee and the ground. That's okay. The foot might not come directly over the knee. That's okay too. Just try to find a stretch for the outer hip on both sides where you are most able to tolerate that slight discomfort. You can stay seated, or if you're really open in the hips, you may be able to fold forward. Once you are complete with that side, go ahead and place the left leg to the ground at a 90-degree angle and bring the right foot up, making circles with the ankle, rocking the entire leg back and forth. Once that leg is a bit warm, setting the right foot on top of the left knee. Legs are parallel. Again, if there's space between the right knee and the ground, don't worry. Just finding a place you're able to find a stillness with a stretch in the sides of the hips, feeling likely a discomfort but no pain. Again, if you're open hip and want to bend forward, that's an option. Might find the breath entering and exiting through the nostrils. You might even let something go. Once you're complete, slowly release from the pose. Go ahead and extend the legs out in front of you and lie down onto the back. From here, coming to bridge pose, so keeping the back to the mat, feet to the mat, knees bent. Go ahead and lift the hips and bottom towards the ceiling or sky. You can interlace the fingers behind the back, even tucking one shoulder at a time under for greater support. You can even lift one leg or the other at a time to make it more difficult. Make sure to keep the gaze up, neutral neck. Chin comes towards or chest towards the chin rather. Keeping the hips nice and lifted, whether your both legs are connected or one leg is lifted. And then slowly release the back down to the mat. Softly bring the knees towards the chest, taking a little rock side to side. And then go ahead and extend the right leg long and just softly allow the left leg to come across the body. Supine twist. Go ahead and bring the knees back to the center again, to the chest. Extend the left leg long. Allow the right knee to cross the body. Maybe gazing to the right. Supine lying down twist. And come back to the center. Bring the knees into the chest, a small hug. And then release the feet, extending the legs and relaxing the arms by the sides, preparing the body for relaxation for Shavasana. Shavasana is often the most difficult and also most important pose, allowing the body to take time to integrate the practice, the movements, the attention, the sense of presence, of being. It's trying to allow the body to relax and feel supported by your space, by your mat or floor or ground, or room or outside. Taking just these brief moments for the body to just be. Maybe the mind is busier than you might like. That's okay. Do your best to just allow the body to relax. If it helps, you might pay attention to the simple rise in the belly on the inhale and the fall in the belly on the exhale. Maybe just noting the pace at which the air enters or exits through the nostrils. Just letting the body be as is. And if the attention starts to wander, mind becomes more distracted, you can always bring that awareness back to the soft rise in the belly and the inhale, and the fall in the belly on the exhale. Letting the air come and go with a sense of ease. Effortless. Inviting a sense of calm with each inhale and calm with each exhale. Starting to maybe deepen the breath a little bit, maybe creating a longer length inhale or a longer length exhale. In the mind's eye, bringing a little bit of awareness to the body, awareness to the back of the head, or fingers, or legs, or toes. Noting the body as it fills with air, air nourishing the cells of the body, giving it life force and energy. And maybe the exhales, a release of stale old air. Very slowly, just start to lift the knees, maybe even bring the knees in towards the chest, or take a hug around the knees or a stretch of arms overhead. Whenever you're ready, making your way to a seated position. Of course, if you'd like to remain relaxing, just stay as you are. If seated, do invite a tall spine. Maybe lengthen the arms overhead for a stretch. And exhale and send the palms to the third eye, the space between the brow, to the mouth, and to the heart. Thanks so much for taking time for yourself today and for joining me. Hope to see you again soon.